Hi, I'm Irving. I'm Brazilian Jiu Jitsu Black Belt, former professional MMA fighter and kickboxing fighter. And this is my assistant, Sam Robinson. He's now 2-0 as a professional, both wins by submission. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about back control. Back control has always been one of my favorite positions. When I started in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, I loved fighting against bigger guys. I love to beat bigger guys, you know, and give me real pleasure. And the back is one of the great positions where you can really effectively get a mechanically superior position over a much bigger person. And the choke, perfect for beating the big guys. You know. So here, I've got my position here. Really typical back control. Hooks in, over and under, my head peeking over the shoulder. There's the typical classic face-up back control. Now here, oftentimes you'll see techniques being taught from this position, but it rarely lasts. Even if you start positional sparring from this position, you go here, 1, 2, 3, what's gonna happen? We're gonna go one side or the other. Okay, so normally a typical back control is gonna land here. Anyway, the definition of the back control, to be a scoring position in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is 2 hooks in. Okay, that's my 4-point move, my feet on the inside. Okay, but this is not necessarily the actual definition of back control. This is the referee's definition of back control. Of course, if we're having a fight and I'm working here and saying, "Oh, I'm controlling this back," and he's saying, "No, I'm not. I'm halfway doing the escape," you can't have discussions like this in the midst of a tournament. So you had to agree at some point. Everybody put their heads together and see how are we going to define back control for the purposes of the referee awarding the 4-point move. Okay, and this became it. But actually, in fact, the classical back control, the definition for me as a practitioner for Jiu-Jitsu the art as opposed to Jiu-Jitsu the sport, it's chest to back. Okay, my sternum lined up with his sternum here, there's my back control, irrespective of whether I'm using double unders to maintain it or the harness grip to maintain it. That's what I'm looking for here, my chest to his back. Now here, I've got my hooks in. Okay, but Sam, I'm not controlling the back, you feel under threat. No. Can I choke him effectively? No, he's halfway to an escape. From a referee's perspective though, we're talking back control. We contrast it here. 1 hook or no hooks, but now, where do you want to go? Can you move? No. Yeah, I've limited his movement. That's for me, is what makes it a back control. So, if you take a look at this position here. Okay, now Sam, can you move your hips? If Sam is going to escape my back control, he needs to be able to move his hips. And now with both hooks in, I have some control, but not complete control over his ability to move his hips. Can you move your hips now? It's dead. It's still. If you contrast it to a 1 hook back control, okay, can you move your hips now? No. Very, very limited movement. Okay, so then you could argue that in some respects, this would be a superior back control. Well, for a jiu-jitsu competition, I need to pop that hook in. Then I can put it back out. Now, no hooks back control. Okay, now this is something else. The first time that I saw this, I think years and years ago, there was this crazy submission wrestling tournament in Japan, but it was a tag team wrestling thing where I had Karu Uno, Takanori Gomi, some other great names. They were doing a real submission wrestling tournament, but it was tag team. And I saw one of the guys run in, and he grabbed him by the back, dragged him down here. I thought, oh, that's crazy. He choked him out without the hooks. You know, that seemed at the time that was revolutionary to me. You know, so it got me thinking. When I came back to doing back control, back used to be my favorite position, and then I left it alone for years and years. And I came back doing the same old stuff that I was doing, and all of a sudden everybody got loads better, and it wasn't working out anymore. So I thought I need to create something new. Also taking the back, it got much harder for me to take the back when everybody wised up to that. That's what I like. So here, let's take a typical place to attack the back from. Now, anytime I can see his back, I can take his back. So we're talking from the guard, I can take his back if I can see his back. But a very, very obvious place here would be the turtle guard. Okay, Sam tucks into a turtle. Okay, now here, very obvious that I can attack his back. So let's take a look. Typical attack from the harness grip. Do a rolling back take. Now here I'm going to make him look through his legs. So I nudge my shoulder under the crown of his head here, push his head through his legs, and circle, circle, circle. Put him over, and I've got my 2 hooks. 4-point move. Let's see that one more time. Working from the side right. I'm a little bit cautious here. I'm not giving him stuff to attack here where he can make a sweep. I'm hanging back, and I shoot it this way. You see here, if I'm too bold and my chest is already on his back, if I've jumped the gun about establishing that chest to back position here. If Sam rolls through, he kicks his leg out behind here. He's taking me for a ride. So when I shoot this in here, I'm dragging him towards me. I show my grip, and now I'm gonna push my shoulder on the back of his neck, make him look between his legs, and I walk, and whip him into the hole. Okay, that's a nice technique, that can work, but now Sam knows what I'm up to when I make that harness grip, and he's gonna try to block my hips. Again, this is the typical response. This is what started happening to me when I came back to using this attack. Start circling, and he doesn't fall into the hole. He's blocked it out. Now here, what's he gonna do? He's gonna try to turn in and establish that double leg position, and there, I'm crushed into side control. One more time, let's see that. It's a very typical thing that happens when the guy's wise to this kind of back take. Walk. Here it blocks my hips. Okay, now, at this point here, the race is on. I need to move away from him, and he needs to turn into me. So he's caught my bottom leg. Now moves back across here. If I maintain this grip, and Sam comes up to the top position, there, his shoulder's driving into my sternum, my legs are up. Horrible place for me to be. So, being forewarned is forearmed. I know that he's going to make this response. He's going to attempt to block me from putting the hooks. And now, when we get in this position, instead of getting into a race with him, I've already predicted it, and I'm going to overtake him. So I'm going to exploit the fact that he's done that. He thinks he's safe from my back control because I didn't establish the hooks. I didn't establish chest to back. I'm breaking the definition, but I'm still controlling him to the degree that I want because I'm going to take his neck. Let's look again. This time. Pause here. I'm already moving away from him. I felt him coming away from my hooks, and I'm already moving away. The mistake that people make, the most common mistake, they come back out here and start building the base too soon. Now Sam comes back up, and he builds his base too. I put myself back into a race with him. I don't want that to happen. I like the position that he was in. I'm going to keep him there. Let's do it again. I don't build my base too soon this time. I'm going to stay flat. So I go belly down. See that turn? I kick my leg under, move back, and here, because I haven't taken his back, he doesn't feel quite the immediate threat. He feels the harness grip here. And then now, I'm going to fight to control his wrist. I control his wrist and shoot in the choke with one hand. Now this is what I used to do. Bring the guy up here, putting that pressure on, and I used to come out and go to a short choke. Most of the time that's going to work. See, the path from here to here is pretty short, but a guy who's real good at hand fighting here is real determined, so you start grabbing out my wrists. Sit there, when I come out here, he takes my hand. Let's pretend he's really good at hand fighting, and he takes my hand before I get there. Yeah, it's blocking, fighting hands, and coming back out. So I thought, okay, what's the solution to this? And my teacher, Crezo, he came over last year, and he was passing the guard, and I couldn't figure out what he was doing. He would keep me trapped all the time. And I realized he was using his chin. He was using his chin like an extra hand. So he'd be gripping me, putting his hips on me, and then his chin would come over and block my arm when he was passing my guard. And I realized, man, he's got an extra hand there. He's got an extra articulation that he's bringing into the offensive. So when I got to here, I realized I don't have to take my hand away here. I've got that hand trapped. All I need to do to secure that choke is peek over the top. I put my chin over my hand. I pull my elbow back in there into the hole. Let's see the whole move. Let's go. Easy. Enjoy that? Yes. Feels good, doesn't it? Okay, thanks very much. I hope that gives you some new ideas for controlling the back and how you can break the rules of the traditional definitions of back control and still achieve the attack on the neck. Thanks for watching. If you want to know more about our club, it's Itaipava Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and MMA in Newcastle upon Tyne. That's the title on Facebook. My Facebook's Peter Itaipava BJJ Irving, and Instagram Newcastle MMA _BJJ. And Sam?
I'm on Instagram as _samurai135, and the link to my Facebook's in my bio.
Thank you for watching. Bye.